I want to go viral, you say, but no matter how much content you put out, you just can't seem to get more views. Well, lucky for you, we did an experiment. We've all been there where we try to be consistent on posting, and it seems like the algorithm still doesn't reward us, and we see terrible numbers like these videos. Well, today we're going to teach you how to better understand the algorithm and how we took an account that hadn't posted videos in a very long time, did not post any new videos, and just by engaging the algorithm, we saw a 35% and a nearly 50% jump in viewership without any new videos. And so the algorithm had no reason to be feeding out content from this account. And we ran an experiment based on some lessons that we had learned in marketing in the fitness space. It was contrary to what you might think would work, actually works really well. We took the knowledge we learned from that, which we're going to teach you today, and we applied it to other areas, and it works very interestingly. So let's dive. So the way the algorithms make money and they like to prefer content is content that causes engagement. And the more engagement content causes, the more they will spread that content so that it keeps getting people to engage with the platform because that's ultimately what they want. That's how they collect data on users and that's how they sell upsales, whether it's merch or ads or whatever, to make more revenue. So content engagement is very important. Most people stop at the basics, which is if I post regularly for a long time, they're going to see that I'm providing original content for this platform and they're going to start giving my videos some preference. That's very true, but everybody's doing that. And that means that's a pretty basic entry point. That means that should just be the standards of what you're doing. Something that we learned very clearly that we didn't pick up in other campaigns over in the fitness space was that people don't respond to logic. They don't care about stats. They don't care about your argument or viewpoint that's backed up with facts or case studies or examples. They don't care about any of that. People respond emotionally. And what we saw was it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative response. It as long as it causes engagement on the platform, comments, replies, likes, upvotes, downvotes, that bringing multiple users in from all over, getting them to engage. That's what the algorithm cares about. They don't care if it's negative or positive. And from that, many fitness influencers would do controversial things. They would use alternative training methods that were getting them ahead of natural athletes. And by glorifying these shortcuts, we'll call it, that would get people that were all natural enraged. And those enraged people would then comment, and those influencers would grow and they would make a nice, hefty sum. So we took this emotional response logic and we applied it to areas on TikTok. So TikTok gives you a For You page. That is content they already like and trust and is already getting engagement. If you engage with that content and it's usually already following a current trend, and you can get your engagement on that content to cause more engagement, you're going to start building preference and authority in the algorithm. Let me. So here's an example of a positive engagement. I looked for some edgy content that was already being pushed in the For You page, and then I got a emotional response from it. So it was an undercover cop talking about some crazy stuff that he did while he was undercover. So that was already edgy content that was drawing people in and getting a lot of views. Now, I made a funny joke about how he didn't even believe, like, because you could tell with the way the cop was being in the video. So I made a funny joke, and you can see the video itself got just under 900 comments. But the joke I made got nearly 3,000 likes. So only a couple of replies, which I didn't really like. I would have liked some more engagement on the replies. So I messed with some other type of content coming up. But if you get the right type of engagement, you can still get more points in the algorithm and rank your ability to get more reach by jumping off of this content that's already doing well and from bigger creators and engaging with their audience and drawing that audience over to your page. Here, we went and played with some negative emotions. There was this new trend that was being pushed in the For You page, and it was everywhere, and it had just started. So we jumped on throwing out just some random negative comments, and then the interesting thing is, did zero replies, and we just watched. because that goes back to what we said with the fitness influencers, where they would do those negative, crazy things and then glorify it. So we tried the same experiment and we got way better results than the positive one we just showed you. So this video itself ended up generating about 2,200 comments. Nearly the same amount of people that interacted with the video overall interacted with our one comment. We made a crazy negative comment, didn't do any replies. All you had to do was be give people like a villain to unite behind. So that's where like these 300 replies came out. Now, some of those are positive and in support of this, but we're just going to count them all as negative because it makes everything easier. Um, some of the comments, as you can see, they got like 2,000 reply or hearts. So there's a lot of engagement because of this one piece of content that you put out there. And it wasn't even a video, it was just engaging with the algorithm and replying to a major creator in video. And taking that, that is 2,000, 4,000, another 4,300 plus all the likes on that. So there's 5,000 pieces easily of engagement right here on a video that only got 2,200 comments. You've got more engagement in this one piece right here than the actual content itself, and you didn't even make the content. Now, how does creating engagement on someone else's content help you? Well, yes, it seems counterintuitive at first, but some of that engagement is going to trickle over to your profile. They're going to start going through your content. They're going to, rage behind you or support behind you. So they're going to want to check you out to try and hate on you. So they're going to go through and watch your content. Now, here's a good example. These are some old videos that were posted back in 2022, but they're pinned up near the top of my profile. So again, this account hasn't posted in a very long time. There's 930 new views in the last week. Most of those came because of those comments. On the first video, there's another 780 on that one video. So that little bit of engagement that you can just scroll through real quick and just drop little comments here and there, there's little one-liners, creates a ripple effect of engagement. Now you're putting out a daily video. Now you're creating engagement in the comment section. That engagement's rippling over into new views that you weren't getting, new profile views. So the algorithm is just going to go crazy in all the right ways, and all of your content strength is going to keep growing and growing and growing. Now you have to be able to endure the good with the bad because there will be a lot of pushback, but you just give people permission to be themselves. They'll unite behind a villain and go crazy and rage, and you don't even have to reply. They'll just emotionally respond. And then, same thing, you'll also give permission for the people who agree with you to respond. Those two emotional responses are all you care about. And that will translate into building your audience, and consistency over time will just keep growing and get you to those goals that you're after. I'll release a couple other things that we do that aren't so edgy and don't require as much like putting yourself out there, that also translates to a good follower ROI. For the final example, these two videos right here that were just underneath the pinned ones that we just went over, so they were at the top of the profile. This one I think was stuck around 400 or 500 views, and this one was around 600 views. And you can see just from those couple of comments and these old videos, it jumped by a good 500 and 600 reviews. I mean, views. So that's old views getting hit with new viewers that the algorithm wasn't pushing. These are all checks, they're all green marks. So just keep putting out consistent content, keep engaging with the platform in every way you can, and you will keep growing your authority on each platform.